Hey yogis, are you ready for day one? Let's head over to our mats. So, as we talked about on the introduction, you can either have a mat or a towel or whatever's comfortable for you. Hopefully everybody can see me. And what we're going to do, we're just going to step onto our mats. So within these four corners of our rectangle, this is where our focus is going to be. This is where we're going to do our work. So I want you to take a nice deep inhale through your nose and exhale, let it all out through your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Okay. And if you have a smartwatch, you can go ahead and set it for your yoga workout. If not, it's okay too. So we're going to start with grounding today. So getting grounded is going to help us in our daily life. It's going to help us in this practice. It's going to help us with a lot of things so that we're not easily taken off course. That's basically why we get grounded. So that we can stand in our truth, we can stand on our convictions, we can stand comfortably on our mat, and we can weather whatever storm comes our way. So the poses that we're going to do today are poses that are going to get us grounded. So just step onto your mat towards the top of your mat, and I want you to make sure that your feet are about hip width distance apart. Say that 10 times fast. Hip width distance apart. So basically like your natural stance, okay? We don't want to lock our knees at all, and we want to take the time. You should probably be barefooted, but if you're not comfortable being barefoot, you can totally wear socks. If you're barefoot, it allows your feet to grip a little bit easier, and it also allows you to ground a little bit better into the floor or your mat or your towel. So if you are barefooted, just take a minute and kind of spread your toes out. And I want you to kind of press that pinky toe into the ground and then let all 4 of your other toes follow suit. So your pinky toe, your big toe should be pressed. Make sure that you're grounded in your heels. So this is what I mean when I say that we're going to ground all 4 corners of our feet to the mat. You're grounded. Okay, so I want you to imagine in your mind that you've got roots going from the bottoms of your feet all the way into the ground. You are grounded. You're not going to be able to move easily from this position. From there, make sure your knees are not locked. Like I said before, you want to roll your shoulders back and down. You want to spin your arms around so that your hands are facing forward. You want to make sure that you're looking straight ahead. We're going to close our eyes in just a minute. And you want to lift your chin just a little and then pull your head back just a touch. And this is mountain pose. So I want you to just take a few minutes to get grounded in this pose. And you can envision a mountain and all of its stature. And you have become your own mountain to weather your own storms. All of the strength that you need to do that is right here within you. So I want you to slowly open your eyes. And then we're going to reach our hands above our head. We're going to take a nice inhale. Exhale. Bring our hands together in prayer at the center of our chest. And from here, we're going to shift all of our weight over to our right leg. And we're going to move into tree pose. Tree pose is another grounding pose. So from here, you can either take your left foot and just balance your heel right against your ankle. You can slide it up to the middle of your calf. Or if you're really brave, you can slide it all the way up to the middle of your thigh. It's totally normal to fall out of this pose, so do whatever's comfortable to you. And I want you to really ground that right foot into your mat or your towel and hold this pose. While we're holding, we're going to keep breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. It's totally normal to fall out. Take 2 more breaths here. Okay, go ahead and release that. Put your left foot down. We're going to take another cleansing breath. We're going to take our hands up over our head on the inhale. Exhale. And now we're going to shift all of our weight into our left foot. And we're going to rest that right heel either right up against our ankle, the middle of our shin, or the inside of our thigh. And it's totally normal for one side to appear to be easier than the other. Totally. And we're just going to get grounded. And while we're doing these poses, I want you to really be in tune with how your body's feeling and what it's telling you. If you're shaking a little bit, that's just an identification that there's some muscles that need to be strengthened. It's not a sign of weakness. A couple more breaths. Okay. We're going to go ahead and release that right foot back down. You can kind of pedal your feet out a little bit. Take our arms up over our head. Inhale. There's my ceiling fan. Exhale. All right, and from here, we're going to take another inhale, and then on the exhale, we're going to move into plank pose. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale. Hinge and fold. Place your hands on the ground. Step your feet back, and we're going to move into plank. Plank is another grounding pose. You can either be up on your hands or you can go down to your forearms. You can bring your knees down if you need to. We're just going to be here for a couple of breaths. And while you're in plank, you want to feel like you're pushing the heels of your feet towards the back of the room. You want to make sure that your hands are right under your shoulders and that you're engaging your core. All right, go ahead and drop your knees. We're actually in our next pose, which is tabletop. So tabletop pose is another grounding pose. We have all 4 extremities grounded. I sometimes will tuck my toes, but usually I just lay my feet flat out in tabletop. And from here, we're going to do what's called cat-cow. So on our inhale, we're going to breathe in and we're going to drop our belly and lift our gaze. And on the exhale, we're going to round our backs and draw our belly buttons all the way into our spinal cord. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to do 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Now we're going to come back to a neutral spine. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my mala off so that it doesn't fall off. And from here, we're going to move into the pose that you can select at any time throughout any practice. That is an active rest pose. It's child's pose. So if any time you're just not able to keep up, or you just need to take a break, or you just need to stay in this pose for the duration of the practice, you want to put your 2 big toes together, spread your knees as wide apart as you can, mine are to the edges of the mat, and you're going to sit back towards your heels, stretch your hands out in front of you, and let your forehead come down to the mat. Now, you can also take your arms to your side, and we're just going to breathe. Just a couple breaths here. This is an active resting pose. If you woke up one morning and you got on your mat and you decided that you wanted to spend the whole time in child's pose and just breathe, you would be practicing yoga. So I'm going to take about 2 more breaths here. And then if your hands are at your side, you want to go ahead and put them out in front of you. If they're already out in front of you, just start to walk your hands back. So, because I'm going to talk to you real quickly about the closing pose. So this video may actually be a little bit longer than 12 minutes, but Shavasana. So Shavasana is corpse pose or our final resting pose. And to get into that position, that's how we end every yoga practice. You want to come onto your back. And completely relax. This Shavasana is really important in this particular practice because it's grounding. Because from this position, I want you to be able to feel how the earth is supporting you through your mat, through your towel. And while we're laying here, you're just breathing normally. We usually take 10 breaths here. But for the sake of time, we won't. But this time just allows you to really process the intent of the practice, which is grounding. And so our positive affirmation today is, I am fully supported by the universe, God, or whatever my belief system may be. And I can support myself and others. Take one more breath. And then you can either roll to the side and slowly push yourself up into a nice seated position. You can keep your eyes closed, cross your legs, or sit however you're comfortable. Rest your palms on your knees. We're going to take one final inhale through the nose and out through the nose. Bring our hands to our hearts. And then it's customary to end the yoga practice by saying namaste. And for those of you that don't know what it means, namaste is a way of saying that the light and the divinity within me recognizes and honors the light and divinity within you. So, namaste.